Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here, and I am bringing you now the second semifinal from the StarCraft Heritage League. In the first semifinal, we saw Nada take down Boxer in 3 games in that best of 3, winning on outsider Neo Medusa and losing to Boxer's crazy 5-racks cheese on Destination, but Nada's going to be able to advance and play the winner of this match. This match is going to be between two of the greatest Zerg players ever in the history of StarCraft, Savior and Yellow. Yellow, the very first big Zerg player, the Storm Zerg, with his epic rivalry against Boxer. And when these semifinals first started, I was definitely hoping to see Boxer and Yellow in a finals rematch, but that is not to be. Boxer falling to Nada. We'll see whether or not Yellow is able to take down Savior. Savior has been looking quite good in this tournament, 3-0ing his group, even taking down Nada, even though Nada, I would still say, has looked better overall and is probably the top player in this tournament, and is my prediction to win. Savior has certainly looked very, very good, and has looked like the second best player in this tournament, and could be able to take down anyone here. And this is a ZVZ between these two players, and I have to give the advantage to Savior. One thing that we notice between generations of StarCraft players, which seem to happen every 2 years, maybe 3 years, seems like there's a new crop of top players, is that the old group of Zerg players, for whatever reason, more so than any other matchup, the old crop of Zerg players seem to struggle in ZVZ, even compared to Protoss in PvP or Terran in TvT. It just seems like the old Zerg players really struggle with ZVZ, and it's not even always an APM thing. We've seen even July Zerg struggle in ZVZ. He's got great Mulus Micro and still struggles in his ZVZ matchup a lot of times against a lot of these newer top players. This game is going to be on Outsider. We're going to have Savior starting off at the 6 o'clock position, and Yellow going to be starting off at the 3 o'clock position, and we'll see what kind of build orders these two guys go for. It used to be kind of a rock, paper, scissors game, where you'd see a 9 pool, 12 pool, and 12 hatch were the most common builds, but nowadays we've seen a lot of players go for overpool, and it looks like Savior's going to be going for Overlord and Gas, which was very, very common on Battle Royale when that game was going, when that map was in the Pro League Winners League, I believe it was. But yeah, that was a very popular map as well. And it looks like we're seeing the same thing from Yellow, seeing the Overlord and the Extractor coming out for both of these players. So it looks like they're going almost the same build here, and I suspect that for both these players it's going to be very much of a quick attack to Mutalisk with this sort of build, getting that very, very early gas, and then trying to get to Mutalisk before your opponent. Of course, neither player knows that their opponent is doing the exact same thing, and that they're going to get there at the exact same time. Both players are also sending Overlords to the empty position at the 1 o'clock base or so, so neither of them is going to get any sort of early scouting information at all on the other. Neither player, of course, going to use a drone scout. That just doesn't happen in ZVZ. It's very wasteful to even bother trying a drone scout or anything like that, even on a 3-player map. But yeah, I am excited to see who comes out of this. I want to see Yellow win so badly. I want to see Yellow win. It would be so incredible to see him get a victory here, but I just don't know whether or not he's got what it takes to take down Savior. Savior promised that he was going to destroy everyone in 2009, hasn't really lived up to that reputation, but he hasn't been as bad of a slump as he was before. In 06 and 07, he was the Meister, he was the Bonjour of StarCraft, taking down everyone on his road to 2 OSLs and an MSL, I believe, or 2 MSLs and an OSL, something like that. And before he met Bisu and Nada and Firebat Hero, and his confidence was just destroyed, and Savior seemed to fall off of the earth, even going down to the B team for a little bit before CJ Entis, before working his way back onto the A team. But he has looked better in recent days, in recent months, and has been playing a lot more. We're seeing a second hatchery and the lair going up for Savior. I assume the lair is also going up for Yellow. I don't think that was going to be delayed at all, but he should probably get a second hatchery up as soon as possible as well, otherwise he might fall behind in terms of larva count. He's going to have to do a lot of damage with his very, very early Mutalisks. Or I don't know what he's really saving for, or if he's saving for something else, going to try and do some sort of other kind of build. And it looks like Savior has completely walled off his ramp with Zerglings, whereas Yellow has not. Yellow does have his lair up, and the Spire is already morphing in, and Savior also, the Spire is morphing in, so the players are pretty much doing the exact same build, except for Savior going for that second hatchery. Yellow is not going for that second hatchery. Not sure what he's using that 300 minerals on, or if he's just storing it up in the bank. gonna try and produce more Mutalisks at the beginning or something along those lines. But Savior or Yellow's got to have some resources in the bank, got to have some sort of strategy for this, and he's gonna have to do more damage with his early Mutalisks than Savior, because Savior will have the production advantage. He will have the larva advantage as this game advances, and there is the hatchery for Yellow coming up significantly later. So he's gonna be down a couple. 2, maybe 3 larvae or so is that in that time difference. It's going to be down a few larvae as the first battles ensue. It's going to be important for Yellow to use very good micro and maintain until he can catch up again in terms of his unit count when the first Mutalisks pop out for Savior. And Yellow's also moving across the map towards Savior's base. We'll see whether or not he tries and works his way up the ramp. It's going to be very interesting. I don't think he's going to be able to work his way up that ramp. That is a pretty solid concave by Savior, and he's got a couple more Zerglings also in the back. And now it looks like Savior is advancing, going to try and break up this ramp. Unable to do anything, unable to do a lick to that wall of Savior. And Yellow just now even has less Zerglings, so now he's behind in the Zergling count. And he's going to be behind in the initial Mutalisk count as well. He's going to be behind by a Mutalisk or 2 as the first Mutalisk pop out from both players. And Yellow looks like Yellow is not looking in a very good position right now. He's going to have to come up with some good micro with his Mutalisk. Some good Scourge play is going to be essential for him. There are the Mutalisk for Yellow. And Savior's Mutalisk seem slightly delayed, but there they are. There is the 5 Mutalisk, I believe, for Savior. 1 or 2 more than what Yellow has at the moment, and we'll see whether or not Savior is able to maybe even take on an Overlord or something. And do see that sometimes losing an Overlord can be very dangerous. And yeah, here we go. Now Savior trying to take out the Overlord, and Yellow trying to defend it with his Mutalisk. And now we're going to see these 2 players Mutalisk micro and see if they have it. Savior coming in with some Scourge now as well, and going to take down that Overlord. That is a huge advantage. That's going to be another egg that Yellow's going to have to expend on an Overlord, which is critical for him. That's 100 minerals and also a larva. That's a very important larva for him to have to use on that. And now both players have Mutalisk and Scourge, and this is the critical time in ZVZ. How well can you land Scourge off? How well can you micro against them? Both players trying to micro against them, and it looks like some Scourge are landing. This is hard to tell who's even got a lead. Looks like both players were able to land a couple of Scourge, both able to do some damage with their Mutalisks, but I don't think either player really got a decisive advantage in that at all. Savior may be up a Mutalisk at this point, it looked like. Just through his cloud, it looked like he might be up by a Mutalisk or so, but it's not significant, certainly not, it's just not enough. It looked like Savior might have accidentally cancelled an egg even there. It looked very odd to see that blood. And Savior also throwing down an expansion now at his natural expansion. So Yellow's going to have to make sure that hatchery does not get up and running. And Savior's going to have to work to defend it. It's going to be very important that he defends it, because that is a huge investment of minerals. And he's going to be, I'm sure, going to be sending multiple